Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and today we're going to talk about how to create an adult account for the PlayStation Network. Not really. We're going to talk about Helldivers 2 and why this information is important for Steam players who have bought the game on Steam and want to play the game through Steam. So let's cue up the music and we're going to dig into this whole ordeal. Alright, so Helldivers 2 players threaten to quit the game after the developer announces mandated PlayStation Network account linking. Now, I'd like to talk about this. I am a big PlayStation fan. I've had every single PlayStation from day one. If I was involved in the console wars, the Xbox guys would call me a pony, but I'm not, because I'm willing to criticize Sony when they do things that's messed up, and they're doing things that are messed up. But they've been doing that a lot lately with the whole censorship of Stellar Blade in 1. And now this Helldivers 2 thing is kind of crazy here. Now, we all know gamers, everybody overreacts in gaming. Whenever anything happens, anything changes and all that, there's always an overreaction. But this one, there's some merit to this. So let's dig into it. Helldivers 2 is facing a mass exodus from the popular game after it announced it would require Steam players to link a PlayStation Network account to their Steam account in order to play the game beginning in June. Helldivers 2 posted an update at 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time on May 3rd titled Helldivers 2 Account Linking Update. It states, due to technical issues at the launch of Helldivers 2, we allowed the linking requirements for Steam accounts to a PlayStation Network account to be temporarily optional. That grace period will now expire. See details below in this post. Account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studios games, the company posited. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behavior. It also allows those players that have been banned the right to appeal. It then declared, as such, as of May 6th, that's just a couple days from now, all new Helldivers 2 players on Steam will be required to connect their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account. Current players on Steam will start to see the mandatory login from May 30th and will be required to have linked a Steam and PlayStation Network account by June 4th. So, the main issue here is buying something and then having the terms of it changed on you once again. And this is the second time Sony's done this in just as many weeks, roughly. I mean, maybe 3 weeks now, 2 weeks, whatever. But, you know, with Stellar Blade, it was supposed to be released looking a certain way with a certain amount of with outfits that looked a certain way, with a certain amount of blood involved in the combat and gore, and those things changed. Well, here we have Helldivers 2, which never spoke about having a PlayStation account, you know, a PSN account for Steam players when they first logged in, and now it's requiring it after they've already paid good money for it. So that would frustrate me if I was a Steam player. Now, this is one of those, you know, and I'm going to do a top 5 things that aggravate me with modern gaming here coming up soon, but this one's definitely on the list, is the requirement to have an account with a certain company. I can't tell you how many accounts I have with different developers, and every time I have to make a new one, it just aggravates me a little more. And a lot of times you don't know about it right off the bat, and I don't think they ever really cost you any money. It's never anything out of pocket. Ubisoft Connect, Battle.net, you know, all these things that you need to sign up for. It kind of keeps track of your stuff, and it's required to play online sometimes, and yada yada yada. But it's a pain, you know. You got to remember all these different accounts, and you know, if something goes wrong, you got to change your password. You got to change, you know, I don't know if you use the same password for them, whatever. It's a huge pain in the ass for it, and I'd like to know ahead of time if I need something like that. I'd be kind of upset too if I found out later on that, yeah, no, you need this or you won't be able to play it. You know, it's one thing if it's an optional thing, but to not be able to play the game and you've already paid for it, that would really aggravate me. And of course, here we go, a lot of people talking about it. I don't have a PlayStation account, nor do I effing want one. I'll seek a refund. I'll link to this in the description below so you can read through what everybody's saying and talking about here, because it's very frustrating. And as a longtime PlayStation fan, and a longtime member of the PlayStation Network, one of the big concerns for people is that not only is it just another aggravating account you have to set up for, but it does create another situation online where you have the potential of your data being sold or stolen or hacked, right? And we all know that there's been a few times that the PlayStation Network's been hacked over the last 5 or 6 years. A couple that I can remember, at least. I remember actually having to get a new credit card one time because the one I had on file, they considered it compromised, I believe. So, it is what it is. It's frustrating, it's aggravating, and it's part of modern gaming, but it doesn't make it right. And Sony should have been upfront about this with, for Steam players that wanted to buy it. We all know if we own a PlayStation that you have to have a PlayStation Network account if you want to play online. We know that. That just comes with the territory, but for guys that don't know, that would be very, very aggravating. So how did Helldivers community manager react to this? And this is a real problem, because these community managers are almost as bad as the journalists these days. The community manager Spitz claims that negative feedback from players regarding the game requiring a PlayStation Network account in order to play it on Steam will not make a difference. Right? So let's look at some of the messages here from Spitz. Sony is the publisher and needs a way to ban PC players. Right now, they can only do that by having to send a name to Valve and wait for Valve to action the ban. If players are required to have a PSN link to Steam, Sony can then just ban the PSN to keep them off the game instead of having to go through Valve. So it gives that power directly to Sony, and they have the ability to work faster and just do it without having to go through a third party. If a Sony account isn't required to play the game, / isn't connected to Steam, it's very hard for Sony to track player accounts. Steam doesn't allow us to have any way to keep track of unique player IDs through our systems, and since players on Steam can all have duplicate usernames, if we get a report for a user named John, for example, we have no idea which of the 450,000 players named John we're trying to ban, but if they have a unique Sony ID linked to their Steam account, we can tell exactly which John it is and ban them easily. So, yeah, this has been a little frustrating thing here. They state that it was required at launch and has been on the Steam page since before launch. It was disabled about 36 hours after the game was available, so I don't know the full story of it, but still, it's aggravating people. And again, not a big deal to make an account, but, I get it. It's frustrating. Nobody wants to have 50 different accounts here. So, yeah, we'll link to this article, too, and let you read it all yourself, because there's a lot to go over here. But yeah, you got people, a lot of pushback against Spitz and all that. You got Eternal Sweet here saying this will kill Helldivers 2 on Steam, backpedal or lose your player base, and the reaction from Spitz was, I thought you were refunding and leaving. See, this is the type of cockiness right here that doesn't sit well with me. It really, frankly, pisses me off as a customer, and as a gamer. Whatever happened to, it just feels like, as a gamer, we are the ones that support this industry. This is the biggest industry out there. It's larger than the film industry. There's a couple $100 billion a year in revenue this generates, and you've got the journalists out there crapping all over the players left and right, the editors and all that, crapping on players. You've got these little weaselly development companies, these like Sweet Baby Inc. and all that, these companies that go in and do advisory things for DEI and all that. They're crapping all over the player base. You've got guys like Spitz here, just being snarky and crapping all over the player base. You don't want our money? Is that what it is? Because quite frankly, you're going to stop getting it. I have made it my goal moving forward when I buy games to be very careful with what I buy, because I'm not going to spend money with a company that doesn't care about me. If that company's crapping on me and telling me that I don't matter because I'm older, or because I'm white, or because I'm male, or whatever, because I'm straight, well then, you know what? You won't get my old, straight, white male money. You can go pound sand up your ass and see what happens with your little niche crowd that you want to appeal to. And I highly recommend all of you as gamers do the same thing. Don't spend your money where it's not wanted. So, anyway, right where we started, how to create an adult account for PSN. What do you think down below about this whole Helldivers thing? Do you think it's kind of blown out of proportion? you know, maybe a little bit. Again, not the biggest of pains in the butt to make a PSN account, but still, again, it's another account. Sony doesn't have the best record for being secure, and that, I understand, is a big issue with a lot of people. So leave a comment down below, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.